ISIL has established a self-proclaimed caliphate, at present stretching over a vast territory roughly from Aleppo to near Baghdad, from which it intends to launch a terrorist jihad not merely against the region, but on a global basis. Indeed, it has specifically targeted Canada and Canadians, urging supporters to attack, quote, disbelieving Canadians in any manner, vowing that we should not feel secure even in our homes.
Tonight's top story, the war against ISIS. That's a clip from 24/7. It's a series of videos on Prime Minister Stephen Harper's YouTube channel. This particular one looks like the Conservatives are preparing for two battles, one with ISIS, one with the Liberals. Terrorism and the war in Iraq and Syria will be a huge election issue later this year, and well, Harper and his team appear to be ready. His government will announce a new anti-terrorism bill tomorrow. Eric Dehame joins us from Quebec City. Eric, this has become a bit of a phony war going on in Ottawa right now, with the opposition parties just flapping their gums about how horrible it is that Canada's doing something, while at the same time they denounce the fact that ISIS is there and that something must be done.
I mean, they're all over the map. It's kind of very ironic what's going on right now. I'm looking forward to see what the opposition has to say instead of criticizing the Prime Minister. I think they'll have to tone down. We saw what happened in France 2 weeks ago. I think that the momentum has changed, and I'm not quite sure that we don't realize more and more that the terrorist attack is very present, and we need to act as Canadians, as Westerners. And I think that the recent political events have completely changed the political landscape across Canada, and people like Justin Trudeau, who think we should bring humanitarian aid and we shouldn't fight against ISIS, are going to have to change their mind and come up with something a little bit more serious in a very near future. And on the other side, I think the Conservatives are going to keep pushing, and it's one of their strengths. We know that the economy is slowing down a little bit in Canada. That could be a bad news for them, but on the terrorist side, I think that politically they're much more equipped than the opposition to please voters in the very near future.
Yeah, I don't want to look at the issue of safety and security from a political lens. I want whoever is best suited to handle it in charge. And the way the opposition's going, it's not them. I want to read to you some quotes from Liberal MP Judy Sgro. She told the Hill Times this week that, well, we're being attacked because of Stephen Harper's rhetoric. She said, you've got the Prime Minister of Canada standing in the House and saying, we want to kill them. I think he's dragging us more and more into fights that we don't need to be in. There's only one reason, because he wants to instill fear in Canadians. That's the only thing it's about. He wants to have Canadians so afraid by the time the election comes that they'll vote for him because they're the only ones that are going to protect them. It's all about building up and getting people frightened and fearful. ISIL, 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 ISIL is coming here. If they're coming here, it's because he put us in that position. We're being attacked because of Stephen Harper's words.
Well, first off, we have to remind everybody who's watching tonight that, you know, like the Americans are also fighting much more heavily than we are. The UK is also fighting much more than we are. All sorts of other countries are at war. Yes.
And Eric, we also, we have, you know, uncovered plots like the Toronto 18, the Via Rail bombing, even when we weren't doing anything.
Absolutely.
We're not being attacked for what we've done. We're being attacked for who we are.
If you're terrorized by terrorists, you're not up for the job to be an elected official in Canada's parliament, period. I mean, it's that basic, and it seems that those people are nervous and they're scared that the terrorists are going to attack us. I'm sorry, they're attacking all the Western world altogether. And it's not Stephen Harper, it's not Obama, it's not anybody. It's the whole Western world that they're attacking. It's our values, it's our nations, it's everything. It's not one single individual, and that's what currently we were hoping that, you were right at the beginning, that it would be nonpartisan. I was wishing that we will see all parliamentarians together in the House of Commons and saying we're all speaking one voice together against the Islamists. Unfortunately, we're playing small political games right now, and it's not going to lead anybody anywhere, and those who started it and the opposition that is criticizing the Prime Minister might pay the bill, politically speaking, at the end of the day.
I've covered Judy Sgro for a long time. I think her words are way off base. I think she should retract them and walk them back. She hasn't. David Akin read off that quote to Justin Trudeau today. I want to play that Trudeau's answer and get your quick reaction. Here's Trudeau today.
I think ISIL represents a serious threat to not just the region, but to a global stability. I think they are going to lash out at countries around the world for our values and our strength. And we need to continue to be very, very strong as part of a group of international partners pushing back against ISIL. Canada has an important role to play, and the Liberal Party has always supported that. More than that, I'm not going to get into discussion of tactics and perspectives.
So he won't distance himself from Sgro's words. He says the Liberals believe they need to do something against ISIS, but he doesn't want to actually engage in the fight. 30 seconds to you, Eric.
Trudeau's position on that specific issue has been very confusing over the last few weeks. Brian, it's not new. I mean, initially he was in favor of only humanitarian aid. Then he said he was in favor of the war, but wanted to vote against it. And now today he's saying that he's standing against ISIL, but one of his MP is attacking Harper, and he doesn't want to distance himself from her. So he's all over the map. I really don't understand where he's going.
All right. Well, the new terror bill comes out tomorrow. We will have full coverage here. Eric, great talking to you again. We'll chat soon.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.